Module 3, Dimensions, covers the following topics: dimension placement, unknown pipe lengths, subdimensions, and changing pipe lengths. After we have completed drawing the spool, it is now time to place the dimensions. Dimensions can be found under the Utilities tab, and then the ISO dimensioning tool. Select the tool. The ISO dimension plane dialog shows up, allowing us to change the direction. If we click on the change button, it gives us the options for placing the dimensions on our drawing. Select the appropriate plane to place the dimensions. Before we actually place the dimensions, we can also set some of the values within our Standards Manager, under the Twin Lakes project, under the SpoolCAD settings, under Dimension Variables. We can set some of the AutoCAD dimensioning variables to adjust our project, company, or client needs. Once the settings have been adjusted, we're now ready to dimension. Let's zoom up on the spool and place some dimensions. Select our dimensioning tool, check the ISO plane, click OK. Use AutoCAD's object snaps, like midpoint and center, to ensure accuracy when dimensioning. Pick the center of the elbow, and then we can place how far away the dimension line will be placed, and the dimension is automatically placed. This equates to a flange and an elbow distance automatically calculated from our spec. Our next topic is unknown pipe lengths. So for our next dimension, which is going to be from the elbow at the top to the elbow at the bottom, and remember we placed a random length of pipe, we will need to input an actual dimensional value for that distance. Select our tool, change our ISO plane. We'll go from the center of the top elbow to the center of the bottom elbow. And then from our first dimension, we'll string out our distance for our dimension line location. And a dialog box appears showing a pipe detected has no assigned length value. Enter overall dimension. So it's showing a value of 15. That 15 is the minimum pipe value, where we have a 4-inch 90-degree elbow and a 4-inch 90-degree elbow. Those values are 6 inches and 6 inches. And our minimum pipe length that we have set in our standard is 3 inches. So we have 6, and 6 is 12, and 3 is 15. So we do see the minimum value. We cannot enter a value less than 15. Let's put in a value 47. We are going to show the cut length. So the cut length will show up below the dimension. Click OK. And the dimension is placed, showing the 47 inches, which is 3 foot 11, and then the cut length for the pipe, which is 2 foot 11, subtracting out automatically the elbows from the dimension. To continue on with the dimensions, we can simply select the next dimension plane and continue our dimensions. So we have another unknown length of pipe. Let's do a dimension to the center of our T. And this time we'll come straight down. And again, the minimum pipe length is 13 1/8 inches. We'll just put in the overall value of 53 inches. And again, the value is placed and the information automatically calculated. And we'll finish off. It's in the same plane, so we can just click Continue. And we'll go to the midpoint of our flange. Connect to the end of that arrow, and the dimension is automatically placed. So the dimension value is set to 10 7/8, which is half the T, reducer, and the flange. All automatic, all from our specs. Our next topic is subdimensions. Let's take a look at adding a threadlet to our piping run. So we'll go to Fittings. We'll select the threadlet tool. Our main size is 4-inch. Our branch size, let's say it's going to be a 1-inch threadlet. We can set it to 1 inch. And then we can place a location on our drawing. Now we want to place a dimension to locate it from the end of the pipe to the center of the threadlet. Back to our Utilities tab, back to our ISO dimension tool. Let's set subdimension, and then we'll change to this dimension style. And we'll go from the center of our elbow to the center of the threadlet, put a dimension, and then ask for the overall dimension. And let's just say it's 9 inches. And it places a subdimension. Our last topic in Module 3 is changing pipe lengths. If a mistake was made on the length of a pipe, we can actually go in and change the value before we create our bill of material. Select the Bill of Material tab and find the Change Pipe Length tool. Select the pipe and then select the dimension. Enter the new dimension text. Our dimension is updated. This concludes the topics covered in Module 3. Please review Module 3 or select the next module.